South Lexington and Roseville.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live on AM 950, the Progressive Voice of Minnesota. In the evenings on WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk. In the afternoon drive in the nighttime hours in Seattle, 1150 AM KKNW. And, of course, on BAM, the Blue Amp Media Network at blueamp.co on Substack. That's blueamp.co on Substack. It is the Matt McNeil Show for your Thursday, and a busy Thursday indeed. We started with COVID with him. He's our virus, disease, pandemic, happy-go-lucky expert. Dr. Joe Eastman is going to be kind enough to join us here in about a half an hour. Joy Dolo is going to come on back now. If you didn't hear Joy when we had her on before about a play that she was doing, she is an absolute hoot. So I've just found a reason to have her back on the air. She's absolutely a fun person to talk to. We'll talk a little bit about the Oscars and acting and you know, the role of the arts as well. We'll get into that. And also soup. Soup might be on the game plan here. Patrick is with me here today. Patrick, we got to kind of get into it here because I only have a limited amount of time. I will also say we have some theater tickets to give away next hour too. I'll get to that here. But there has been two bit of breaking news I want to make sure I just touch on here. A suspect armed with a rifle is dead after ramming his vehicle into a Michigan synagogue. The motive for the incident, which took place at Temple Israel in West Bloomfield, is a Detroit suburb, I believe. It's still under investigation. According to local authorities, the major synagogue also operates as a preschool. No kids or staff members were injured, though. Oakland County Sheriff's Office updated reporters. We have no victims other than the one that led one of the lead security people who was hit by the car when it rammed into the building and was taken to the hospital for treatment. The individual should be okay. The suspect's car had mortars inside. Bouchard confirmed the suspect drove a vehicle in the building and that the security did engage with the suspect with gunfire. He did not confirm the suspect's cause of death. It does sound like there was two conflicting stories there. One was that he might have been on fire at some point, and obviously if you have someone who has serious injuries due to fire, well, then that's a case where that's, obviously that they can die fairly quickly because of the trauma to their body with that. But as well, also there was one story out that one of the security guards shot him. Right now, FBI Kash Patel says he's on the scene. We don't know anything about the shooter. My guess is going to be if this plays out as it always does, if there's any way in the world that Kash Patel and them can link this shooter to a leftist ideology or cause or anything like that, that will immediately find out everything about the shooter, and there'll be every Democrat is responsible for this, blah, blah, blah. If this is like a lot of the other shooters we have, which are far-right conservatives, my guess is we won't hear anything about the shooter. I want to remind people, a man actually shot Trump at a rally in 2024, and most people have no idea who that guy is. Have no idea. It'd be the first time in the history someone tried to assassinate a former president at that point and a presidential candidate at that point, and we just still don't know anything about them. That tells you a lot about the person there because of the narrative that wants to get pushed. So we'll have to find out about that. The other shooting that happened today, a person is dead. Two other victims are injured after a shooting at Old Dominion University. This is a Virginia school. The gunman, who is also dead, according to officials, opened fire just before 10:49 a.m. at Constant Hall, an academic building on the school's Norfolk, Virginia campus. Not immediately clear how the shooter died. Old Dominion University Police Chief Garrett Shelton confirmed during a news conference that one of the three victims who was injured had died. He said authorities learned that there was a third victim who brought themselves to the hospital. The two remaining victims appear to be in stable condition. So unknown exactly why this individual opened fire at Old Dominion, but something where, like I said, I want to give at least a quick update on those two stories because obviously a bit of breaking news going along with that. And, people are a little concerned in regards to what could possibly be happening in regards to, fallout from the Iran war, because let's call it what it is. It's the Iran war. I should mention, I want to make sure the very sad news first. An 8th member of the U.S. military has passed away. A U.S. National Guard member died during a medical emergency in Kuwait on March 6th. According to CENTCOM, marking the 8th U.S. military death since the Iran war began. Iran war, I should say. In a statement posted the U.S. social media company's Twitter platform, CENTCOM said the guardsman died in a health-related incident. The exact cause of death is currently under review. CENTCOM referred other inquiries to the U.S. National Guard Bureau. No additional details about the guardsman's identity or circumstances surrounding the incident were immediately released. I say this, and I mean, it is hard. I'm a vet. I'm a veteran of the U.S. Army. And I understand that sometimes when stuff like this happens, you want to just get mad at everyone. And please don't do that. The soldiers are not making the policy. Get mad at Trump. Oh, please, by all means. Be upset with Trump. Be upset with Netanyahu. Be upset with Pete, the drunk Hegseth. Be upset with these guys all day long. The soldiers, that's not who you shouldn't be bad-mouthing them. And, I know I got a different perspective because I'm a vet, and I'm very proud of my service. I'm very proud of all the people that have served. But, it kind of breaks my heart sometimes how we forget these people. There's always a lot of talk, particularly from the right, when we get into military conflicts about the brave sacrifice of our men and women. And the reality is they don't do jack for them on the backside of it. They don't generally get their benefits. They don't give them the salutes that they deserve. They don't do this because as much as you may disagree with the conflict, don't disagree with the soldier. The soldier is only doing what they are doing. And it's why I've always said, if you are really gung-ho about a conflict, well, enlist your own children and let them be part of the fight. It's really kind of cowardly to expect other people's kids to die for your cause. And yet not a single Republican will say volunteer their kid or their grandkid to go fight. Some of them great grandkids. There was a hearing at the Minnesota State Capitol on Wednesday morning. The Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs has unveiled a veteran suicide prevention plan. This is good. I want to mention this just in conjunction with this because we should remember the veteran. Rachel Johnson, director of the department's Veteran Community-Based Services, announced findings from a suicide prevention report that shows Minnesota continues to lose about 100 veterans to suicide each year. That number was down to around 80 in 2024, but last year it was back up around 100. Preventing veteran suicide requires more than individual programs. It requires coordinated system built through partnership, data, and sustained commitment. Minnesota is making meaningful progress by strengthening prevention, improving access to care, and working collaboratively with communities and systems to support veterans and their families. The department's suicide prevention plan will be phased in during the next 4 years. There are plenty of people, and I will say on both sides of the aisle, that look at some of these issues: veteran homelessness, veteran mental health. These are important things that we should be addressing. And, I'll praise any politician that's out there fighting for the veterans, but just don't do this whole thing where you say, you've got your yellow ribbon tied around a tree and act like I'm the biggest supporter. But when it comes time for you to vote to fund some of these programs to help the veterans, all of a sudden you're like, well, I'd rather be giving it to a tax break. Then it's just empty. Support the vets. And once again, tragic news as the 8th veteran and an 8th soldier has passed away in the Iran conflict. In his first public remarks, let's run just through some of the stuff here. As a matter of fact, let me. I was a little hesitant to looking at the stock market today because things are not going well in the regards to this. Stock market is down 739 points today. Oil was up to $96 a barrel. The Brent crude is over $100 a barrel, and it's probably going to get a lot higher because, once again, just want to remind everyone, Donald Trump, the person, by all means, be critical of him and his dumbass decisions in this whole thing. He had no idea what was going to happen. He just thought, we dropped some boom booms and they're going to quit. I'm just watching Aaron Rupar from Public Notice just had an interesting clip of an Air Force general basically saying our experience has been that military campaigns where you just basically bomb people from the air only gives them more resolve. It doesn't break their spirit. In his first public comments as Iran's supreme leader, the new Ayatollah Khamenei apparently called for national unity and said all U.S. bases in the region should close or face attacks. The Strait of Hormuz will remain closed in order to pressure Iran's enemies. Khamenei reported he was not seen in the broadcast, and the statement was delivered by a newsreader. Khamenei said Iran will avenge those who were killed by U.S.-Israel airstrikes, including the dozens of 7 to 12-year-old girls who were killed in an airstrike that hit a school in Minab. He also offered financial compensation for Iranians who suffered damage from the attacks. Iran appeared to have set 2 tankers ablaze on fire in Iraqi waters, killing 1 crew member, and it stepped up strikes on oil and transport facilities across the Middle East. Should be mentioned that the U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright told CNBC on Thursday that the Navy cannot escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz now, but it was quite likely it could happen by the end of the month. It's the 12th. The issues with protecting oil tankers in the strait were discussed by U.S. military officials in a classified briefing to top lawmakers on Tuesday, according to persons familiar with the matter. Now, it should be noted that since that story came on out, Bissett has come on out once again, the Treasury Secretary, so where we should always go to find out all of our news about war. This whole administration. Anyway, he was on, I guess it was a Sky Media over in England, and basically said, oh yeah, we're going to have U.S. military ships making sure all the tankers get out of the strait. Oh, okay. As many as 3.2 million Iranians have fled their homes to find safety from the joint U.S.-Israeli aerial bombing campaign bombarding the country, according to the preliminary assessments by the UN Refugee Agency. Most of them are reportedly fleeing from Tehran and other major urban areas. And then Oman's foreign minister and the mediator in the U.S. nuclear talks has claimed the U.S. will not achieve as much through war as it could have achieved in peace deals. Of course not. I love how Trump basically is now trying to make the argument that he sees that when Barack Obama was in charge, there was always going to be a war, but it never happened. But now that I basically started a war, thank God the war is here. And you're like, should be mentioned as well, as the U.S. then unleashed all these airstrikes 2 weeks ago. So far, it's killed 2,000 people in Iran, throwing global energy markets into chaos. Also, more than 1,100 youth have either been killed or injured in Iran and across the Middle East. The United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF, said the situation is becoming catastrophic for millions of children across the region. It is not good. It also should mention in Lebanon, where Israeli attacks are alleged targeting Lebanese political and parliamentary groups of Hezbollah. Nearly 800,000 people have been displaced at this point, including 200,000 kids. More when we come back. It's the Matt McNeil Show.
Would you let animals pick your insurance? Do you really need to experience mayhem to get the best rates? Or how about a celebrity quarterback or fake university saving you money? There's a lot of marketing stunts when it comes to insurance, but what you really need is someone looking out for you. Call Array Insurance, and they will work hard to find you the best insurance coverage and rates. So avoid gimmicks and call Cheryl at Array, 763-504-3067, or arrayinsurance.com. Array Insurance, working hard for you.
Hey, Francois, I have a gift for you to celebrate National Macaroons Day on March 20th.
Bonjour Laura, c'est très gentil.
It's a make-your-own macaroon kit.
Mais pourquoi j'ai les macarons de Nicolette?
I know you love Nicolette's. Now you can see what it's like to make your own.
Mais pourquoi j'ai les macarons de Nicolette?
Do you want to try making macaroons?
Mais pourquoi j'ai les macarons de Nicolette?
Oh, well, at least I'll have a gift receipt.
Mais j'ai un cadeau pour toi pour la fête des macarons.
A gift for me? Is it a gift card from NicolettesMacaroons.com?
Oui, je t'en prie, bon appétit.
Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. The end of winter is finally on the horizon, and you're going to start thinking about all that nasty crud that's built up in your home over these last few months. Call my cleaning heroes at Zero Res to help get you an early start on the spring cleanup. Zero Res removes winter's buildup and lingering odors, giving your home a fresh, spring-ready feel. This month, get Zero Resified from Minnesota's #1 carpet cleaner. Buy one room, get another free. Buy another room of carpet cleaning, get another room of carpet done for free. Get the picture? Also this month, get a free size upgrade on every whole home air duct cleaning package. Don't you love when you buy your favorite beverage and get a free size upgrade? That's what Zero Res is doing this month with their whole home air duct cleaning package. Start spring cleaning with a free upgrade and pay less for more fresh. Call Zero Res right now, 952-ZERO-RES, or go online to ZeroResMinnesota.com and say you want the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same, Zero Res.
What if I told you that toxic pesticides from crop seeds and lawns have spread all over Minnesota's lands and water, devastating wildlife and posing risks to our health? Well, it's true. But a coalition of Minnesota farmers, community members, anglers, and more are taking action to protect our state from neurotoxic pesticides. To learn more and get involved, visit cleanerseed.org. That's cleanerseed.org. And tune to Food Freedom Radio.
Hi, this is Frank Brown with Minuteman Press Uptown. It's election season. If you're campaigning for a candidate, your outreach needs top quality union printed materials, from direct mail and yard signs to door hangers, buttons, t-shirts, and flyers. Minuteman Uptown is your union shop to get people to the polls. We print everything. We'll keep your candidate top of mind, target your message with a laser focus, and maximize your voter turnout efforts. Get started today at mpuptown.com. That's mpuptown.com.
It is the Matt McNeil Show, 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. Patrick, just a little bit earlier today, I had an MRI on my back. Everything's pretty good. Nothing really bad there. I mean, I look like a 57-year-old back, but I was in there. Have you ever had an MRI before?
I have not, fortunately.
Basically, I'm one of those weirdos. I had no problem with it. As a matter of fact, I kind of treated it as, you ever seen one of those Japanese pod hotels? It's like, I kind of was like, oh, this is what I like in here. And this is going to be the craziest part. These things are loud. I mean, I had earplugs in and it was going like the entire time. I fell asleep. I mean, I said, it's got to be the fact I'm the youngest of 7 kids. And so I could sleep, basically in on a treadmill. But, it doesn't, this is kind of relaxing. I am in one of these hotel pods and there's a dance party next door. That's what happened. I fell asleep. It is tight quarters. That is tight quarters. But I got to tell you, and I'll get into this a little bit later on. Did I get a view of myself I haven't seen before? Hello there. So,
posted on the OnlyFans page.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you what. I'll get to that here in just a little bit. 952-946-6205. 952-946-6205. It is clear we definitely need to talk a lot about what is about to happen to us here as a country, because Joni Ernst. Okay, I want to just talk about the Republicans for a quick second, because this is the Republicans. First of all, there is a new phrase of the Republicans: finish the job. Finish the job. We haven't really even started the job with Iran. It is really, this is a week and a half into this. This is going to be, unless Trump just says, good enough, I'm done, and walks away, which is going to be a massive victory for the Iranians at this point. If he does it, and by the way, I'm not saying he wouldn't do that. And, I'm in my personal opinion, fine, let the Iranians have the win. It'd be better than him basically boneheadedly jeopardizing American soldiers for a quagmire, to say the least. Because once again, as I have said and proven right once again, Iran is not Venezuela. It is not some Caribbean island. It is not some bombing raid we do to make ourselves go, rah, rah, USA. This is a very different kind of war, and you are going to have to put boots on the ground if you really want to have a victory, which is going to take you years. This is a country that is not alone. It does have its partners, and namely China and Russia. And it makes for very strange bedfellows when Trump is clearly betrothed to Vladimir Putin, because he probably has compromising information about him having sex with children. And China, who owns, as I mentioned yesterday, an insane amount of the American debt, who could basically cripple this country tomorrow if they wanted to, we are in a difficult position. But for Republicans and for the bonehead that is Donald Trump, the big problem is the gas prices, because the whole thing is he keeps saying everything's so cheap now. Everything's the cheapest it's ever been. And you know, how mushy is his brain at this point? You do have to ask the question. I mean, how mentally compromised is he? And I get it. He thinks he can basically just change reality, partly because the Republican Party and his voters allow him to. I have said for years, you could walk in on Donald Trump having sex with a Republican a MAGA person could walk in finding Donald Trump having sex with their child, and the first word out of their mouth would be, "Damn Democrats," because they just, they're so betrothed to the guy. I mean, Donald Trump took a bunch of 20-time losers who used to know they were losers and basically said, "You're not the loser, they're the loser." And they're so desperate to keep that mirage alive that they will basically in one breath scream that Donald Trump is saving us all from COVID. And the second that Donald Trump is out of office, COVID's a made-up myth. It never really happened. You see, there is no rhyme or reason to the people. They are all just lost. They are just lost. And he knows that. But it becomes harder and harder for him to be able to say a false narrative to be taken as truth when people have $4 a gallon gasoline, $5 a gallon gasoline, $6 a gallon gasoline. And I have zero doubt there is tremendous pressure right now by the Trump administration on the oil companies. And by the way, just a quick side note. Hey, everybody, don't worry. Oil executives are still making record profits. All right. As all of us pay more, guaranteed they're buying another vacation home. Don't worry about them. They'll be fine. Anyway, as he might be pressuring the oil industry to try to basically be a little bit more nice in regards to costs and stuff like that. But the truth is, they're only going to do that for so long. And eventually these prices are going to come down to us, and it's going to be everything. Everything is going to be catastrophically more expensive. I think, will that shake enough of his people? I don't know. When they're basically, when you have a case where people are, because they're all they're able to drink is orange soda, and what they can eat is Doritos, and all of a sudden people start getting scurvy again and stuff because they're not getting any vitamin C or anything like that. I don't know. Will that kind of shake them out of there? Will the fact that their seventh generation farm just slipping through their fingers, even though there's nothing they can do, will that do anything? No, I don't think it will. I don't know what you can do, but he knows he basically, all he can depend on right now are the racists, the Nazis, and the most blind, loyal MAGA people. See if you can figure out where that separation is on the Venn diagram. But MAGA, Nazis, and racists are all still on board with him 100%. And that's about it. So he's got to try to figure out a way around this oil problem, which, yeah, it's still up. It's $95 a barrel, and Brent crude is 100. So that's not going to get around it. Most of that oil has to come through the Strait of Hormuz. Most of the oil it's interesting. The oil that's going through is going to China. And I find it very interesting that the U.S. and Israel don't want to try to stop those boats. And as a matter of fact, the Iranians have an island where much of their oil refineries are, their oil transport is. It's all out there on this one island. I think after Israel attacked oil refineries in Tehran and things, that's when the things initially went up to what was $120 a barrel before they came down. I think there was a call made saying you cannot target their oil infrastructure because that will absolutely tank the markets. Everything's going to go south at that point. But it's also interesting, they're allowing the oil tankers from Iran to still go around the Strait of Hormuz and go to China. They're not getting in the way of that at all. I don't know how much of this stuff will eventually breakthrough, but it's going to get bad for us here. It's going to be bad for the soldiers over there. It's going to be bad for us on the home front, but Trump doesn't care because he's an idiot. All right. All right. Dr. Joe, when we come back, it's the Matt McNeil Show.
I'm standing up for the middle class. Tom Hartman here on the Progressive Voice of Minnesota, AM 950, KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Connection Radio Show is all about tapping into our hardwired hunger to connect. We examine meaningful connections to ourselves, our community, and the world around us. By opening the door to innovative insights by a wide variety of interesting guests, we'll make the connections to something bigger than ourselves. Join me, Lori Fitz, your host of Connections Radio Show, and together we'll make the connections. Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Hey, it's Tom Hartman from my friends at All Energy Solar, and I want to talk about something most people don't consider until it's too late. Energy independence isn't just about saving money. It's also about what happens when the grid goes down. Severe weather, aging infrastructure, unexpected outages, they happen, and when they do, most homes go dark. But not homes with solar and battery backup from All Energy Solar. Here's what makes it work. Solar panels charge the battery during the day, so when a storm hits or the grid fails, your home stays powered. Lights, refrigerator, medical equipment, whatever matters most keeps running. All Energy Solar is certified by both Tesla and Enphase for battery storage and has been installing complete solar plus battery systems since 2009. Minnesota battery rebates are also available. Don't wait for the next outage to wish you had acted. Visit allenergysolar.com or call 800-620-3370 for your free evaluation today.
Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. The end of winter is finally on the horizon, and you're going to start thinking about all that nasty crud that's built up in your home over these last few months. Call my cleaning heroes at Zero Res to help get you an early start on the spring cleanup. Zero Res removes winter's buildup and lingering odors, giving your home a fresh, spring-ready feel. This month, get Zero Resified from Minnesota's #1 carpet cleaner. Buy one room, get another free. Buy another room of carpet cleaning, get another room of carpet done for free. Get the picture? Also this month, get a free size upgrade on every whole home air duct cleaning package. Don't you love when you buy your favorite beverage and get a free size upgrade? That's what Zero Res is doing this month with their whole home air duct cleaning package. Start spring cleaning with a free upgrade and pay less for more fresh. Call Zero Res right now, 9520-RES, or go online to ZeroResMinnesota.com and say you want the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for partly cloudy skies today with a high near 45. Tonight, a mix of rain and snow and wind with a low around 29. And Friday, partly sunny with a high around 38. Step into Fort's a children's theater company. It's an interactive fort-building adventure where theatrical elements and towering cardboard boxes spark shared creative play. Weekday availability during local spring breaks, March 17th through April 3rd. Tickets at childrenstheater.org. That's childrenstheater.org.
AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Broadcasting in the afternoon drive at nighttime hours in Seattle, 1150 AM KKNW in Chicago, WCPT 820 Chicago's Progressive Talk on the Blue Amp Media Network at blueamp.co on Substack. That's blueamp.co on Substack. And, of course, in Minneapolis, St. Paul on AM 950, the Progressive Voice of Minnesota. It is the Matt McNeil Show for your Thursday. Dr. Joe Eastman is kind enough to join us today. He is, of course, very smart, and he knows about these things like COVID and viruses and measles and stuff, and he does analysis and data breaks and estimates on outbreaks and how bad they're going to be. He's worked with a World Health Network. He is kind enough today to join us. I'm going to just say this. This concerns me. Dr. Joe, I'm a little concerned for here. I want everyone to find Dr. Joe's social media pages and send him a lot of love. He is just out of the hospital yesterday. You broke your leg accidentally, correct? Did we lose him? Did we already lose him? We are kind of losing him. He is kind of glitching here. Hopefully we might have to get there you are. There we go. We hear you now. But then you're glitching.
Okay. It's been a little iffy, just like my. Let me call in.
All right. Okay. He's going to give it a call. He's up in bed on his laptop, and it's kind of one of those situations where it's a little bit of a difficult condition because he had broken his leg. And here's the crazy part. Here is the crazy part about this. We got him here. Dr. Joe, you're there, right?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So it was good to see you briefly on the stream there, but I'm glad you're on the phone. Let's not make this any more hassle because you broke your leg. What happened, just for everyone out there?
I hit a small ice patch.
Okay.
Let's see. I got to shut my headphones off.
Don't move too much. I don't want you falling in any more ice. So.
Come on. These buggers. There we go.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah. I just took a misstep on the ice and broke my femur in 3 spots.
Yikes. So are you feeling better? We are getting a little bit of an echo there, just FYI.
Yeah, I'm feeling a hell of a lot better, and I'm making good progress.
All right,
so good. They sprung me a week early, Matt. So I'm also on those little loopy pills that we have to take when we're in these things. So bear with me today.
Okay, that's good. This should go into a fun realm. Now, the reason why I'm scared to death. You are recovered. You broke your leg, and I'm glad you're healing, and all the best to everyone up there that's been helping take care of you. You're an absolute godsend, and I want to make sure you stay as healthy as possible. But you get in touch with me and say, I got to get on your show and talk about things because things are going horrible really fast. And I'm always like, when you tell me that always puts a rainbow and a bright smile on my face. So, and Dr. Joe, what is I'm presuming there's multiple because it sounded like there are multiple things going sideways. What's the worst thing going on right now? What is scaring you right now that you want to talk about?
Yeah, that's a good question. There are multiple things going on right now. But the thing that we're seeing now is a thing called the Leonardi effect. And we've known about this now for over 5 years, scientists that agree with him. And it's basically the repeated infections. They produce a kind of an additive immune system distress.
And we're talking about COVID. We're talking about COVID right now, right?
Correct.
Yes.
And it gradually degrades your immune function. Each infection worsens it. We just passed the point where roughly the average American has had 5 infections. So think about it. It's basically 1 a year. And our kids in school are even in a worse spot. And then the SARS-CoV-2 infection, it actually alters the function of your T cells, their number, and their survival. This hyperactivation, it leads to premature aging and exhausting of your T cells, and basically makes them in the long term almost useless. So this whole thing has been going on, this persistent immune activation, and you're trying to repair your organs and fight off infections, and your system is saying, I can't keep up with this. It's not working. So we just recently got a whole dump of data of different other pathogens. Let's see, measles, we're seeing what that's doing. It's not just in the United States, by the way. Australia is really ramping up right now. There's spots in Europe and across the globe. Pertussis, whooping cough, it's every year since this pandemic started, we're noticing just rising yearly totals. And most of them, we only have totals through 2024, some of them 2025. We've also seen a rise in TB. That is the bellwether pathogen of the health of society, basically.
Tuberculosis?
Yep. When our health is in bad shape, tuberculosis makes a hell of a comeback. And RSV, influenza. We saw what influenza did this year with the novel variant. It was H3N2 caused all the havoc of our first influenza wave. Now our second influenza wave, influenza B, comes from the Victoria strains. That's going crazy, and it might even pass influenza A. And it's not confined to just the United States. We're seeing this behavior all over the world. So this accumulation, the Leonardi effect, we like to call it, and a lot of us were made fun of by the old school doctors and everything, and now we're being vindicated. It's all coming true what we predicted, and it's so sad to see because it didn't have to happen, and it's not going to get better because we are just continuing like life is normal, and we're going to keep doing the same thing. We're not going to mask. We're not going to get boosters. Human behavior is astounding sometimes, especially when it's threatening not only our lives but our future generations' lives. And you're going to see influenza A and B and measles and everything just continue to explode. It's at a point, Matt, where it's so serious. One of my good friends, he's a Finnish statistician, and Finnish people are known for this. They are brilliant. And Ilkka put out this graph that I got from him, and I looked at it, and my jaw just dropped. All these countries in Europe that he had plotted have lost 10 years of healthy life off their entire lifespan, which means, if you have a 70-year lifespan is normal in a country, only 60 of them are going to be healthy. You're going to be fighting some kind of illness the rest of the time. And it's happened all across Europe. There's one country, Spain, that seems to be rebounding. But this is based only through 2024. We haven't even got the 2025 numbers in yet.
So if you're okay, I want to take a step back here, because what I want to make sure I understand for everybody out there is what you're saying is that COVID, through its with its repeated infection rate, what they're seeing is in the people here, and considering most of us have already had, the average is 5, as you said, had this, that we're seeing a rise in a lot of other disease. Well, thank God RFK Jr. is there to tell us to rub the measles in our face. But we've seen this massive rise in not only measles, but TB and whooping cough, and all these diseases are making a comeback because of this level. If I may ask a question that might be wildly unintelligent, and forgive me if it is wrong, but I mean, is it something that you could put something in? Okay, so for the first time you get it, your immune system goes down to, say, 95% effective. The second time it goes down to like 80% effective. Is it something like that, where the more times you get, and once again, we're painting with a wide brush here, but is it something that the more infections you get, you're seeing a definitive decline in the ability of the body, 40, 50, 60% of the immune system is being compromised?
You nailed it right on the head.
Okay.
You're precisely right, man.
I'm back under the desk for the rest of the show. All right.
Yeah. And after 5, the chances of you having some kind of long COVID are also quite high. That increases every time you get a new infection. God knows you don't want to go through that. I know so many people that are suffering that I try to help. But basically, it can actually turn your immune system against your own body and go after your own organs.
What a delight. God.
Right?
Recycling. All right. God. Well, it will cause your body to have organ fights. Okay, great.
Yeah, it causes inflammation in all your organs, which damages them, breaks down all your epithelial tissue, the linings of your veins and arteries and all that stuff. It's just, the accumulation is an absolute disaster. We cannot continue this, or I don't know what this world would look like in 20 years. I'll put it that way. It's that serious.
Well, good news. AI will have wiped us out long before then. Okay, so now I also want to give you credit because you, Dr. Jaffe, who's also a mutual friend of ours, you guys, and I'll go with your Finnish friend as well. You guys have put your necks out there because you guys keep screaming. The data doesn't lie. We're not making this up. This is not about us trying to create new science. This is just we're looking at the numbers, and the numbers are saying this. And the institutionalized medical system basically, and what is it, just because they didn't want to go through the pandemic again, that they basically said, no, pandemic's over, we don't want to talk about this? We failed because we could have addressed this much earlier?
I think that is. I mean, some of the mean texts and DMs and the stuff we've went through, Dr. Jaffe, myself, Leonardi, who first proposed this back in 2020, he's went through a living hell. And these guys, do they eat crow? No, they don't. They just keep on their same track, and they won't accept. We have to rewrite the entire textbook for our immune systems because it is a bunch of crap, and it's based on outdated science, and it's not going to get us anywhere. Just the other day, I proposed in my last Substack, this was not part of Leonardi's, but I said SARS-CoV-2 is probably going to cause lymphopenia, loss of lymphocytes. Geez, that's a good thing, isn't it? My gosh, I mean, that cuts all your naive T cell reserves down and destroys them. Those are the ones that learn how to fight new pathogens as they come into your body. And sure enough, an article came out the other day and said, I think it was 43% of, was it the military? I can't remember. I'm a little loopy on these oxy things. But it was causing a 43% reduction in the lymphocyte.
Well, and we got about a minute here before we go to break. And one thing I just wanted to touch on too is and this is something, this has been a recurring theme for you. This is not just affecting elderly people with already compromised immune systems. You are seeing this kind of damage through the entire system all the way down to kids, correct?
Absolutely. And the kids, they don't know how to diagnose this. They're growing up with this feeling like, oh, I'm supposed to feel like this. No, you're not, kids. It's sad to see.
Wow. Thank gosh you've got some medication there to alter your mindset. Oh my God, man. It's well, and
I know. We need it. I really do.
Well, it must be good. The fact that you've got a leg broken in 3 places and you're chuckling it up there. It's like, oh God. All right. On that bright, sunshiny bow we put on that package, let's take a break. Let's come on back. Let's find out what the next thing that Dr. Joe is urgently trying to warn us about when we do come on back. It is the Matt McNeil Show here on your Thursday.
Small town homecoming queen, she's the star in this scene.
For delicious gourmet popcorn, Popped Corn, Popped corn.com has you covered. Popped Corn offered your favorite flavors ready to go. Cheese made with real cheese, their classic mix. More than 80 great flavors. Enjoy featured flavors like Shamrock Caramel and their tasty fudge and nuts. They sell their popcorn in various bag, gift box, and tin sizes, and they ship across the USA. Visit poppedcorn.com and enter in discount code MATT to get 10% off your order. That's discount code MATT at popcorn, Popped corn.com, and make everyone smile.
Hey, Chanhassen in Eden Prairie. It's Alex with Buzz Cut Mowing. Why wake up early, freeze, and shovel snow when I can handle it for you? I provide fast, reliable snow removal so your driveway and sidewalk stay clear, safe, and stress-free all winter long. Relax, enjoy your morning coffee, and let me do the heavy lifting. Visit buzzcutmowingmn.com today and make this winter easier, warmer, and worry-free with Buzz Cut Mowing, because nobody likes shoveling snow.
There really is no place like home. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Home Health. When you're faced with an illness or an injury, being able to stay at home and receive care is important. Our home health offers a wide range of services, including skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapies, aides, homemakers, in-home respite care, and 24/7 live-in care. We'll work closely with your primary care provider to come up with an individualized plan for you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
Next Chapter Booksellers is the perfect destination for indoor winter activities. Cozy up with a book. They have all the bestsellers and new releases. Plus, their booksellers are great at making recommendations. Beyond books, enjoy mind-bending puzzles and family fun board games for those snowy days. And don't miss Next Chapter's in-store events, book clubs, author signings, and children's story time. So stay busy this winter with Next Chapter Booksellers off Snelling and Grand in St. Paul. More at nextchapterbooksellers.com.
When it comes to nutritional supplements, it can be hard to know what to trust. Announcing whattotrust.com. Whattotrust.com is a free app developed by Canamix, a Rochester, Minnesota company founded by scientists and clinicians from Harvard Medical School to help people make informed choices. It's time to stop guessing what scientifically proven means and start knowing what to trust. Go to whattotrust.com, enter product's name, and get science-based What to Trust scores. Companies do not pay to be listed on What to Trust. Whattotrust.com.
Greg Bakken here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com.
It is the Matt McNeil Show. Dr. Joe Eastman, kind enough to join us via the phone today to talk a little bit about the things that should scare the living daylights out of you because, yeah, it's horrible. But thank God, Brainworm McGee is in there at Health and Human Services to tell us how much tuberculosis we need to drink. Okay, Dr. Joe, you said there was something, Long COVID Awareness Day, that coming up here on Sunday, you said?
Yes, it'll be a 12-hour marathon again. My co-host, Becky Robertson, is going to do almost the whole time. It's supposed to be 24 this year. So I'm going to take over about halfway through and fill out the last few hours. And there's I think we're up to 500 monuments will be lit up in teal and gray and black. And it's become a big thing across the entire globe. And it was all started by one lady that had long COVID, Angela is her name. And she was able to start this, and bless her soul, because it allows people to remember those they've lost, and we have some hope. And the black represents loneliness. So there's a lot of lonely people out there. If you know anyone with this disease, please go help them out. Do anything you can. Because they'll appreciate it.
I've known people who have had COVID basically for 3-4 years, and it is brutal. And so, yeah, it's a good thing. Long COVID Awareness Day is up on Sunday here. Make sure you make a post about it. Make sure and check in on you should be checking in on anyone everywhere. Anyway, you should be checking on your neighbors.
And Matt, it's in my Substack from March 8th. And I believe I also put it March 9th, and I'm sending another one out today with all kinds of stuff about it.
All right. So, I'll link to your Substack. I'm going to link to your Substack page on all the social media pages, including on Substack myself, which is Matt McNeil Show, and on Blue Sky, which is Matt McNeil Show, Matthew McNeil one on Threads, and Progressive Citizen X over on Facebook. Okay, so COVID, we've done our job there. Let's move over to avian flu. Bird flu, you and I have we've basically been sitting on the edge of our chairs waiting for this one to turn into the next major pandemic. What is scaring you about the bird flu now, Dr. Joe?
Oh boy, there's several things. Another statistician came out with a study he did today, and he's bumped the probability of it going up by Q4 of this year up to 0.9. 90%.
What does that mean? 90% of all birds having bird flu?
No, of it going human to human.
Oh, 90%. Oh, okay. The worst case scenario. I'm sorry. I had a little optimism there for a second. It's just the birds? No. He says by the end of this year, 90% chance that bird flu will be a human to human problem.
Yep. And that agrees right with what I forecast in my brain. So I think we've been spot on this show. We thought it might have been this fall, but we kind of said for sure it will be within this next year, and it sure does look like it. Boy, God help us.
Well, 2 years ago, you and I were talking. It had to make 6 different jumps to get to the point of human and human, and by the sounds of it, now we are basically on the cusp of the one final jump.
The second major jump is there's signs of it. It hasn't happened yet, but combined with the Leonardi effect we just talked about, and people having influenza at the same time they got the bird flu from contact, the chances of these things combining with each other and going efficiently human to human are pretty much a certainty at this point. So, and we don't have things stockpiled or vaccines. We're not sure how effective they are.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is doing an assault on a Skittles factory right now. So I mean, I don't. I think any kind of help coming from the federal government is not going to be there. So great.
It's not. Well, I'll do my best to prepare people for it.
Yeah.
And I got steps that they can take, and I'll outline them in my Substack and on this show when we have more time to go into detail. But I'm looking at birds in the wild are suddenly showing up with co-infections of 2 different genotypes of bird flu. That's not a good sign, I'm telling you. And these buggers are ready to migrate now. So look out, folks.
Well, thank God there are no birds everywhere on the planet. So I think, okay. Oh, God.
We've lost 3 billion birds in the United States since 1970, breeding pairs.
Okay. So I guess for our smile file today, should we turn to measles? Or is there something else we can turn to? Is there any other just terrifying news we can share with the populace right now?
Actually, the measles is becoming very serious, and the immune dysregulation from Leonardi is got a factor in that. So, especially as older people, we got to watch out because our shots are already wearing off. And you throw in the combination, all these SARS-CoV-2 infections, that's not a good recipe for you. Your chances of getting the measles are pretty damn good. And we are seeing the kiddos. It's a reactive thing that we're going through. All of a sudden, there's a measles outbreak in the area. They got like 20% vaccination rates. And all of a sudden, people are like, clamoring to get their shots and get their vaccines.
Suddenly,
we need to do that beforehand.
Suddenly, when all of a sudden everyone's in a hospital room, people are like, hey, wait a minute, maybe these vaccines do work. Thank God common sense finally kicked in. Dear God, man. Well, and I'm happy because not too long, I got to go down to the epicenter of American measles right now, which is South Carolina. So I wonder if I'll have it with that delicious mustard barbecue sauce. I mean, that's what they do down in South Carolina. Low country cooking. All righty. Okay.
You better have some soft shell crab too.
Well, no, it's oysters down there. They have the oysters. Okay, so final thing here because we're running out of time. I want to make sure I want you to find Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe Eastman. He's on Substack. He's on Blue Sky. He's on Threads and Mastodon and on Facebook. He's everywhere. I wanted everyone to go find him and say, get better soon, because he broke his leg in 3 places and he still came on this show today. And he has still been right now for 6 freaking years. So we all could be a little bit smarter by listening to Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe, take care of yourself. Get some rest, my friend, and I will get your Substack posted a little bit later on, okay?
I will certainly do it, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
You got it.
All you do.
Thank you, sir. Chicago, Seattle. Talk to you tomorrow. Minneapolis, St. Paul, and bam, up Tower 2 up next.
Greg Bakken here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Mavericks has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had, made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Mavericks Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville.
AM 950 would like to thank everyone who joined and donated during our winter membership drive. Your support shows that Minnesotans still value an independent progressive radio station that delivers facts, not spin. AM 950 is locally owned, based right here in the Twin Cities, and dedicated to uplifting small businesses and diverse communities. At a time when some voices are being pushed aside, AM 950 refuses to be silenced. Please help keep progressive radio on the air. Visit am950radio.com and donate today.
Come on, you know it's true. Work is almost bearable when the Stephanie Miller Show is on. AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. In Michigan today, an attack on a synagogue. Jennifer King on what we know right now.
A man armed with a rifle rammed a vehicle into a major synagogue in the Detroit suburbs, then was fatally shot by security.
Nobody at the moment has been confirmed to be hurt.
Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard.
Was there any security at this temple, as you mentioned?
Yes, there was. And they engaged the threat.
Early on, smoke could be seen billowing from the scene at Temple Israel in West Bloomfield Township. It's one of the largest synagogues in the U.S. Authorities say the attacker drove through a set of doors and into a hallway. Then the vehicle caught fire. Deputies were able to clear the building, and parents sprinted to get their children from an early childhood learning center inside. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer calls the attack heartbreaking. The Jewish Federation of Detroit advised local organizations to go into temporary lockdown, which has since been lifted. I'm Jennifer King.
And there was a shooting in a classroom at Old Dominion University in Virginia. Police say a gunman and one victim are dead, 2 other victims hurt. A source tells AP the suspect is a former member of the Army National Guard who pleaded guilty in 2016 to attempting to provide material support to the Islamic State group. Overseas, a statement from Iran's new supreme leader, Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei.
It was read by an Iranian news anchor. Khamenei said, "The point I must emphasize is that in any case, we will obtain compensation from the enemy. If it refuses, we will take from it assets to the extent we deem appropriate. And if that is not possible, we will destroy its assets to the same extent." Meantime, Iran released dramatic footage of its forces attacking a tanker off the coast of Iraq. I'm Ed Donahue.
Iran also attacked other Gulf neighbors, and it all sent oil prices above $100 per barrel. Stocks fell on Wall Street, the S&P down 1.5%, the Dow 1.6%, the NASDAQ 1.8%. This is AP News.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't, and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination, and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Bing.
Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. The end of winter is finally on the horizon, and you're going to start thinking about all that nasty crud that's built up in your home over these last few months. Call My Cleaning Heroes at Zero Res to help get you an early start on the spring cleanup. Zero Res removes winter's buildup and lingering odors, giving your home a fresh, spring-ready feel. This month, get Zero Resified from Minnesota's #1 carpet cleaner. Buy one room, get another free. Buy another room of carpet cleaning, get another room of carpet done for free. Get the picture? Also this month, get a free size upgrade on every whole home air duct cleaning package. Don't you love when you buy your favorite beverage and get a free size upgrade? That's what Zero Res is doing this month with their whole home air duct cleaning package. Start spring cleaning with a free upgrade and pay less for more fresh. Call Zero Res right now, 9520-RES, or go online to ZeroResMinnesota.com and say you want the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
Are you tired of hearing how white European men discovered everything? Then 10,000 Things Theater's production of Men on Boats by Jacqueline Backhouse is for you. It features a cast of the people the first expedition to the Grand Canyon in 1869 left out, running February 19th through March 15th at 4 different locations, starting with Open Book in Minneapolis. Contact 10,000things.org. That's 10,000things.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for partly cloudy skies today with a high near 45. Tonight, a mix of rain and snow and wind with a low around 29. And Friday, partly sunny with a high around 38. Savor the excellence at Maverick's Real Roast Beef in Roseville. Elevate your taste buds with their range of sandwiches from the savory Philly steak to tempting turkey bacon avocado. Explore crispy chicken, fish, brisket, and pulled pork options. Check out mavericksbeef.com or visit them off Lexington and Roseville.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Hour number 2 of the show here on your Thursday. Once again, thanks to Dr. Joe. Of course, we have to talk to Dr. Joe because if we don't talk about this stuff, no one's going to talk about it because no one's freaking talking about this stuff. So we have him on the air to basically, yes, it's terrifying, but you should be prepared. And like, well, how about we just get some basics? Wearing a face mask is still not the worst idea. Getting a measles booster, getting your COVID shots, these are good ideas. Please take advantage of them. That's what you should be doing. And stay up to date on all your immunizations. You really should. Don't be the person who's like, I don't need it. And then when everybody's running in and they're saying, oh, it's 3 months before you get a shot. Yeah, you need to get that taken care of. I will say this. We'll do a little bit of counter programming. Joy Dolo is back with us coming up here in a little bit. We are going to chat with her about various things, including the Oscars and acting and soups and stuff like that. I will say also, we had her on to talk about a play. We do actually have some tickets to give away today to, this is going to be the play Hungry Like the Wolf. This is for the showing over at the History Theater over in St. Paul, March 21st. It is the, once again, the March 21st showing over there. A great production about the groundbreaking history of the Wilmer 8, the women who led the first American bank strike. And of course, it has a lot of 80s vibe to it, henceforth a lot of Duran Duran music. So Hungry Like the Wolf is featured in there. So you can enjoy that. That's going to be, once again, it is the Hungry Like the Wolf. It is at the History Theater. The tickets we're going to be giving away are for the 21st, so listen for your chance to win there. Patrick, I had mentioned a little earlier, I had an MRI today because I had some back pain. And just, I'm a 57-year-old man. I slept weird. I tried to get away with I took on the racist bike gang to save the puppy thing. It wasn't flying. No one was buying it. So I'll just go back with the truth. I slept on it weird. And the good news is the MRI is done. And I feel it's really not showing anything too extraordinary. It looks like I've got a very healable path at this point.
Oh, that's great news.
It is a tube. You get in there. You are in there tight. I mean, it is like a cannoli in there. And I get this done. All right. I was looking at the MRI and they go through it. And if you ever get an MRI, they'll have one side. And in the case of my spine, they ran it up its lower back. So they started at the lower spine and kind of ran up. And on the other side, you can kind of see the cross section of my body as it goes through. Okay. So you can see this. And I am watching my butt cheeks that are there as you can see them there. And of course, I'm just going to say this. I didn't realize I had that nice of marbling. I just want to be honest with you. I was looking at it like that and I'm like, yeah, those are some high quality steaks right there. I just want to let people know I'm more surprised than anybody else. I think one side of me is like, I'm happy. My father taught me how to pick out a good cut of meat. And so I know what a good cut of meat looks like. Second of all, damn, serve me with some onions and mushrooms, my friend.
Did somebody let you into Dr. Joe's pills?
Well, I'm sorry, but they looked, I was like, wow, I wouldn't, if that would be on special, I might have to pick some of that up. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just have this weird kind of feeling now that if things go as bad as they are, and right now, let's face it, they're not going great in this country. If things, maybe I'm going to be one of those people that, it's going to be a fine restaurant. And instead of going and looking at the lobster tank, they're going to, let's have Matt come on out here. Why don't you show them what they're going to have there here? Take a look at those steaks, huh? Rump roast, yum.
Good for the slow cooker.
Well, I'm going to presume tough meat. But hey, well, I'm dead serious. I was like, oh, those don't look good. And all of a sudden it dawned on me what I was talking about. Okay, that's my own caboose. Okay, all right. But hey, talk about dimples. Sorry. Yes, this show sometimes gets really freaking weird, and I am proud of that. I am so proud of that. I cannot tell you enough. So 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. Good friends over at Heartland Signal in Chicago, they put out a story here, and this is apparently happening in a lot of places. So, I want to make sure I bring this up because I want people to be aware of this. Republicans in Minnesota State Senate introduced Senate Bill 4166, legislation that advocates for state agencies to use discredited reproductive health care practice called restorative reproductive medicine, RRM. If it were signed into law, SB 4166 would force the Minnesota Commissioner of Health to integrate RRM information into existing public health programs and provide guidance support for Title X funded healthcare facilities to use RRM practices. So you might be saying to yourself, like I did when I saw this, what the heck is RRM? Although it does sound like it's a bad sequel to that RRM. Yeah, never mind. RRM is a non-medical approach to treating infertility that heavily focuses on fertility awareness, lifestyle changes, and menstrual cycle tracking, according to the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. And once again, I'm going to trust them. Why? Because it's the freaking American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. That's why. RRM can expose patients to needless, painful surgical interventions, limit their access to the full range of evidence-based fertility care interventions, and delay time to pregnancy while potentially increasing overall costs. The American Society for Reproductive Medicine, who I trust. Why? Because they're the American Society for Reproductive Medicine, labels RRM as an ideology used for political purposes since it steers patients away from procedures like in vitro fertilization. So this is, now you get where we're going here. Republicans are still not done messing with women's bodies and making the choices for everybody else. And so these weirdos want to stop in vitro fertilization, which has been responsible for a lot of children being born. But yet, because they don't like it, they want to stop everyone else out there from doing this. And so this is the new, I guess, tying them to the bed and saying you can't leave, I guess. Once again, okay, so you're dealing with basically it's a treating infertility that focuses on fertility awareness, lifestyle changes, and menstrual cycle tracking. Saying, if you're not having a baby, it's Jesus doesn't love you. I guess, is that what we're doing here again? Because this doesn't sound like I've heard this dance before from the Republican Party, whether it's these non-medical clinics where we're not going to let you leave because we're afraid you're going to have an abortion. And we're not going to, you need to have this baby. I know your dad raped you and you're 8 years old, but you got to have it. That sort of thing. And which was before it was the pray the gay away, torture clinics, for lack of a better way to say it, that they used to have. This is, they try to put this out there saying, well, if we just scream at you long enough, then we're going to win. And this now, their new culprit is in vitro fertilization. It typically excludes IVF and relative treatments on moral or religious grounds, not clinical evidence. Keep your damn religion to yourself. I talk about religion, but what's my disclaimer? You do or don't do whatever it is you do or don't want to do. I'm not here to convert anybody. I'm here to give you a perspective from somebody who's a Christian. You make your own dang choices. But the Republican Party, which is the party based on individual freedom, loves to stick their freaking nose in your business and force you to do what they want you to do. But of course, they don't want to pay any damn thing about it. Exactly. It portends create a false narrative that standard fertility care skips proper diagnosis or healing, when in fact it is based on precisely those principles. It says, you can't trust the in vitro stuff. We're going to get you a calendar so you can track your menstrual cycles. That's yeah. Proponents of RRM generally oppose artificial insemination and IVF. SB 4166 currently has 3 co-sponsors, including Senators Julie Coleman from Laconia, Jim Abler of Anoka, and Gary Heinzman of the Grand Rapids. None of these lawmakers, by the way, responded to Heartland Signal's media requests, asking them to clarify why they support RRM. The bill will very likely not become law since the DFL in Minnesota, the Democratic Party here in the state, controls the Senate, and the current governor, Tim Walz, is a member of the DFL. In addition to Minnesota, Republicans in several states are pushing for RRM. Last year, Arkansas, them, became the first state to enact a law that established a state framework for RRM, saying, don't talk about in vitro, including requiring insurance companies to cover related treatments. Jeez. Is there circus music when you approach the clinic? Can I just ask you that? Is there circus music? Doot, 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 doot. We're covered by insurance. God. A similar bill was introduced in South Carolina, the beacon of healthiness lately. That was in January. A federal bill was first introduced by U.S. Senator Cindy Hines-Smith, a.k.a. the Joker. If you've ever seen a picture of her, you're probably laughing now. And sometimes I do things right. Cindy Hyde-Smith, a.k.a. the Joker, with Senators James Lankford and Chuck Grassley, that young spry fella, and John Cornyn, all co-sponsors. The bill would expand federal research, training, and awareness of RRM methods, a.k.a. you can't have in vitro because we don't want you to have in vitro. First of all, credit to Heartland Signal for this one. That's a pretty darn good story because we should be talking a little bit about this. And I'm kind of stunned to a point that we're not. So, I'm okay. But I want to make sure we point out that this is once again, yet another example of how Republicans like to say, we're done. We're done with abortion. We're done. Roe v. Wade got overturned. It's a states' rights issue. And here they are still trying to say, well, if you go to an in vitro fertilization clinic, they're run by witches and wizards. Oh, you're going to burn in hell. So we're just going to go to a room and we're going to give you a calendar. We're going to talk about what foods we think you should eat. Because, your country time lemonade cured my infertility. No, it doesn't work that way. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a woman. And I know this. All right. Jesus. They're still at it, folks. They're still at it. And they will force you to do their will. They'll scream, we're the party of individual choice as they tie you to a bed. One other one I want to make sure I mention here before I get into the break. The Fort Snelling Immigration Court is holding expedited online hearings right now, largely in secret for Somali nationals with asylum claims. Nicknamed the Rocket Docket by attorneys and court observers, the only public notice of these hearings is a sheet of paper pinned on a board each day in the lobby of Immigration Court in the Whipple building. The dockets are often incomplete or inaccurate. Everyone appears for the hearings remotely, and observers are rarely allowed. While there are immigrants who are subject to the proceedings are in Minnesota, the judges and government attorneys are in other states. You see, they couldn't find the judges here to do their bidding, so they're getting a bunch of those Arkansas judges that talking about in vitro fertilization comes from the devil. We're going to determine whether these minorities have a right to be here. Yeah, great. The practice is the latest example of the diminishing transparency in courts operated by the executive office since Trump took office. At Fort Snelling, courtrooms are often locked, dockets are redacted, observers are restricted, contrary to federal law stipulating that hearings must be open to the public. A deputy executive director of the Minnesota chapter of the Council of American Islamic Relations said immigration officials have not provided an explanation about the fast-track online hearings for Somali refugees. He noted that family members are unable to observe the hearings. When hearings are expedited, families lose the ability to hire counsel and gather evidence. This is a due process issue. Of course, they don't care because they hate minorities. And once again, Trump and the Minnesota Republican Party look at the Somali community and think they're like the super minority. And so they're basically gleefully going after them so that they can go back to their districts and say, we got the black people. That's what's going on. The Advocates for Human Rights, a Minnesota-based nonprofit, filed a federal lawsuit on Thursday, March 12th, challenging the increasingly restrictive limitations on public access to immigration court proceedings at the Whipple Federal Building. It names Attorney General Pam Bondi the worst attorney general in the history of this country. The Executive Office for Immigration Review is part of the Department of Justice and the chief immigration judge. Federal law is clear. Immigration court hearings are open to the public, said Michael Garnett McKenzie, Executive Director of the Advocates for Human Rights. When the government closes the courthouse doors without a valid basis, it undermines the transparency that is essential to the rule of law. I mean, yeah, you're right. In a normal world, but drooling paste eater over there in the White House, he doesn't seem to understand any damn thing. All right, we'll take a break. Come on back. Once again, Joy Dolo coming up here in a little bit, and listen for your chance to win tickets. That's coming up here as well. It is the Matt McNeil Show here on your Thursday.
At Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, our job is to help you find a place for fire. Our displays include over 180 models in diverse styles, and we have over 35 burning displays. Come and experience the glow and warmth of a live fire.
Some say there are only two seasons in Minnesota, road construction and winter. Hi, this is Laura, and I agree there are two seasons in Minnesota, summer and fireplace season. I bought my wood stove for Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces in 2005, and every season after summer comes the time when we fire up the wood stove, get out our favorite music, and discover the warmth of fire. Our dog Pumpkin remembers the fire too. He stations himself right there, legs up in the air, just enjoying the warmth of the fire. With the wood stove, we are able to keep the main area of the house toasty warm, while the thermostat is set at an energy-efficient 64 degrees. Discover your fireplace season. Visit Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces today.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, out of the ordinary products and services since 1977.
Hi, this is Chad from AM 950. I've been telling you about Snap Construction, the company AM 950 trusts for all roofing and siding needs. Now that spring is here and summer is around the corner, now is a great time to find out why AM 950 trusts Snap Construction. Ryan, the owner, and his team at Snap Construction have been great to work with, and they have enjoyed working with our listeners.
Hi, this is Ryan, owner of Snap Construction. We've absolutely loved working with the listeners at AM 950. What a great group of people and a great radio station. I personally want to thank all the listeners that we've had the opportunity to work with. At Snap Construction, we look forward to working with many more of you when it comes to your roofing, siding, windows, and insulation. Don't just take Chad's word for it. Google Snap Construction, arguably the most well-reviewed roofing, siding, window, and insulation contractor in the Twin Cities metro. We led this community with a lifetime craftsmanship warranty. Don't wait to get a free estimate. Call today, 612-333-SNAP, 612-333-SNAP, or visit us online, snapconstruction.com.
Are you planning a gathering for your family, friends, or work? Then reserve space at the Park Tavern. The Park Tavern offers private and semi-private spaces, and they can accommodate any size party, large or small. They have bowling, food, and beverage packages for any budget. And remember, there are no room fees and no minimum spending requirements. And for more information or to schedule an event, call 952-929-6810 or go to parktavern.net. Make your next get-together the best get-together with help from the Park Tavern.
Families, get ready for Dinosaur World Live, a thrilling interactive show at Children's Theater Company March 3rd through April 5th. This hit show is the perfect blend of science, storytelling, and spectacular live theater. These remarkably lifelike dinosaurs move, they roar, and yes, the mighty T-Rex towers before your eyes. This is edge-of-your-seat excitement, followed by the chance to meet a dinosaur up close. Dinosaur World Live opens March 3rd. Tickets at childrenstheater.org.
It is the Matt McNeil Show. 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205 is the phone number. Let's give away a pair of tickets right now. This is to Hungry Like the Wolf. This is the play going to be playing over at the History Theater in St. Paul, March 21st. It's about the rise up there of the Wilmer 8, the women that led the first American bank strike. And, of course, it's got lots of Duran Duran music in there because it happened in the 80s. So you can listen, go see this. This is Hungry Like the Wolf. This is at, once again, the History Theater in St. Paul, and it is going to be on March 21st. Caller number 5. Caller number 5 right now, 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. Caller number 5, you yourself will get yourself a pair of tickets to that show. Good luck. 952-946-6205 is the phone number. I wanted to bring up as well. Let's go back to the city of Champlin, Minnesota, where City Council member Tim LaCroix resigned from his seat this week as he faces criminal tax evasion charges. LaCroix, who runs his own law practice, really? Look at this, right? You're a lawyer. You have your own law practice, and you didn't file your taxes. I don't want to presume something, but I don't think it's wild for me to say, God, you must suck as a lawyer. He runs his own law practice. His wife are both charged last month with 5 felony counts of failing to file individual tax income returns and 5 counts of willfully failing to pay income tax. You know, this is the kind of fraud the Republicans love. This is great fraud to a lot of Republicans. Yeah. Anywho, the couple is accused of owing more than $35,000 in income tax from 2019 to 2023. So there was quite a few years you didn't pay your income taxes. Okay. LaCroix apparently did not respond to interview requests. He is 58 years old, allegedly told investigators that he knew there is a tax filing requirement, but denied intentionally failing to file, saying he's not a good bookkeeper of his business and was in over his head, according to court documents. Each felony charge carries a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine, or both. Prepare yourself for a Republican politician to come on out and say, he's an old boy. You can't hold him accountable. Us finding out about it is embarrassing and punishment enough. Champlin City officials announced this week that LaCroix has resigned his council seat, effective immediately. The charges were a personal matter and they did not relate to city operations. Well, of course, sir. But it tells you a lot about the individual term. Now, why? Let's see. Let me stroke the old chin here. Why does LaCroix's name sound familiar? There was something going on there. Oh, that's right. Remember a few weeks ago when I talked about the city of Champlin, Minnesota has decided to go with the old Minnesota racist flag? Now, once again, I want to lambaste every effing news outlet in the state outside of the Minnesota Reformer and MinnPost, who consistently want to bury the lead on the old Minnesota state flag, that it was racist AF, okay? It was designed to be racist by the whole manifest destiny. White people are here to drive Native Americans off their land. It's ours now, go away. And the image actually showed that, of a white farmer as a Native American rides away on his horse. The flag is racist. That's not a debate point. You guys constantly try to say some people think there's some bad imagery there. No. For God's sakes, none of you news outlets, none of you would go to a Native American and say, well, some people think this is perfectly fine. All of you, every single stinking one of you, if it was a Native American person in front of you, you would say, yeah, clearly this is racist. But the fact is, when you're talking to the white people that want racism, that's when all of a sudden it comes out with the, oh, gee willikers, is it or isn't it? It is. No, it is. The wife of the man who designed it wrote one of the racist poems you'll ever hear to commemorate the seal that's on the flag. What's wrong with you people? It's a racist flag. It's a racist flag, and we got rid of it bipartisanly, but because you pathetically horrible politicians on the right have nothing to campaign on outside of trying to stop people from getting in vitro fertilization, You basically said it's the liberal flag. I know some of the Republicans that voted to put this flag into place. They're not liberals. But this is the ground where they're at, the weak. And now they're all upset because the new Minnesota flag has been so front and center in the fight against ICE in the city of Minneapolis, St. Paul, and in Minnesota. And now all of a sudden, these impotent little jackasses want to sit there and go, yeah, I want the old flag back. I like my racism. No time with you. The Champlin City Council voted to fly the old Minnesota state flag. Guess who was one of those people out there that voted to keep the old flag up there? Good old Tim LaCroix, Mr. No Taxes for Me. A lawyer who apparently the taxes. Really? I'm asking. I'm actually really. That's the whole. Okay. I'm not a good bookkeeper. That's it. So I guess it's maybe could we say Champlin's flying the flag supported by people who don't pay their taxes? So is Champlin saying we shouldn't, if you're in Champlin, you shouldn't pay your city taxes? Well, that's a bold statement if it's true. I'm just asking the question because one of the people that approved the old flag, the old racist flag, mind you, Champlin, the old racist flag. God. And yet, the Star Tribune and the news outlet, the TV stations here is like, is it racist? Yeah, it is. It is. It's documented. It's racist. Intentional stupidity. I said yesterday, Republicans are people that like to hurt other people to make themselves feel better about themselves. And the news media in this country is intentional stupidity to basically bow down to the corporate overlords and the advertisers that really control the freaking news outlets. Gah! Anyway, Tim LaCroix voted for the racist flag. So there's that. Just when you didn't think you could like him more, huh? Patrick, do we have a winner of the tickets to go see Hungry Like the Wolf?
Yes, congratulations, Ken.
Ken, enjoy the show. I got more tickets to give away tomorrow and on Monday. Listen for that. I do also want to give this little bit of programming note. Speaking of Native Americans, if you'd like to actually hear about Native American issues from Native Americans, by all means, then do on AM 950, my station I'm on right now. Right after my show is Native Roots Radio. Fantastic show. Robert Pilot and crew. They talk about Native American issues. They are fantastic, and it should be a nationwide show. Listen for that. You will actually be smarter at the end of that show every single day. Also, I should mention Greg Bakken, Ghost Box Radio. That's coming up here tonight at 10 o'clock. If you're on the Blue Amp Network, guess what? Schechter and Walsh are back again for another edition of Tequila Talk on the Thursdays. They do this right after my show. Will they get more jacked up than Dr. Joe was? I don't know. We'll have to see. Tequila Talk with Cliff Schechter and also Joe Walsh. That's coming up here on the Blue Amp Media Network right after my little shindig. When we do come on back, Joy Dolo is going to join us. We're going to talk about things. It is the Matt McNeil Show here on your Thursday. With the excitement of March Madness coming, popcorn, that's Popped, corn.com, needs to be in your starting lineup. Enjoy your favorite flavor of popcorn, gourmet popcorn, like cheese made with real cheese, the classic mix, or the featured flavor of shamrock caramel. And many college teams are featured on Popped Corn's tins. You can ship your team tin across the USA. Find your team at poppedcorn.com and enter in the discount code MATT to get 10% off your order. That's discount code MATT at popcorn, Popped, corn.com.
Prime Productions is thrilled to bring the world premiere of Abuelita by Nathan Youngerberg to the Capri Theater March 14th through the 29th. A grandmother from Iowa brings her grandson to meet his Puerto Rican relatives in sweltering New York, 1993.
Oh, man.
Gabby's world is transformed with music, dancing, and community. Directed by Shay Cage. Pay-as-your tickets can be purchased at primeprods.org. That's spelled prime, Prods.org.
What if I told you that toxic pesticides from crop seeds and lawns have spread all over Minnesota's lands and water, devastating wildlife and posing risks to our health? Well, it's true. but a coalition of Minnesota farmers, community members, anglers, and more are taking action to protect our state from neurotoxic pesticides. To learn more and get involved, visit cleanerseed.org. That's cleanerseed.org. And tune to Food Freedom Radio.
Peace of mind shouldn't cost a fortune. We keep things simple at Schroman Law because we believe planning for your estate and end-of-life care shouldn't be stressful or expensive. Every client relationship starts with a free consultation so clients have the information they need before making important decisions. From there, we work closely with clients to ensure they are choosing the most efficient and cost-effective plans for their specific needs. Schedule a free consultation today at schromenlaw.com. That's SCHROMEN law.com.
Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. The end of winter is finally on the horizon, and you're going to start thinking about all that nasty crud that's built up in your home over these last few months.
Yes.
Call my cleaning heroes at Zero Res to help get you an early start on the spring cleanup. Zero Res removes winter's buildup and lingering odors, giving your home a fresh, spring-ready feel. This month, get Zero Resified from Minnesota's #1 carpet cleaner. Buy one room, get another free. Buy another room of carpet cleaning, get another room of carpet done for free. Get the picture? Also this month, get a free size upgrade on every whole home air duct cleaning package. Don't you love when you buy your favorite beverage and get a free size upgrade? That's what Zero Res is doing this month with their whole home air duct cleaning package. Start spring cleaning with a free upgrade and pay less for more fresh. Call Zero Res right now, 9520-RES, or go online to ZeroResMinnesota.com and say you want the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same, Zero Res. With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, rain and snow with a low of 28, then Friday, clearing skies with a high of 39. Step into Forts at Children's Theater Company. It's an interactive fort-building adventure where theatrical elements and towering cardboard boxes spark shared creative play. Weekday availability during local spring breaks from March 17th through April 3rd. Tickets at childrenstheater.org.
AM 950 KTN up, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
It is the Matt McNeil Show on the Blue Ant Media Network, as well as AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota. Once again, follow me on the Substack. It's Matt McNeil Show, and on Blue Sky, it's Matt McNeil Show. Hey, see how that works? We had Joy Dolo on with us here.
Hi.
And now you know why she's back.
I'm back, baby. Okay, so if you ever want to like switch your intro to like a different song, it could be like the Matt McNeil Show, the McNeil Show with Matt. It's McNeil Show with Matt. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. It's Matt.
Oh, I think we're going to have a copyright infringement lawsuit on us pretty quickly.
No, I just invented that. I just created that.
Well, actually, not you. I think it was McDonald's, but still, I'm loving it.
Sponsor us, McDonald's.
I'll just tell you, Joy, I'm just going to read your. This is your signature on your emails, and so this is everything you need to know. Actor, director, writer, hater of mayonnaise. Yes. Now that's fighting words in Minnesota, where mayonnaise is basically the salsa of the North. But
since I was a child, I hated mayonnaise, and like it didn't start with just mayonnaise. I didn't like eggs to begin with. Like I was not a big fan of scrambled eggs, any kind of egg on anything. And then as I progressed to an adult, I started to like eggs. And there's something with the mayonnaise, the consistency and like the disgustingness of it. I just like have never liked it. It's just been part of me. It's who I am.
I of course, I'm making up for you. As you can see here, this is the poster child for mayonnaise here. My middle name's Hellman's.
Do you like mustard?
Oh, I can't. The only way I can have a hot dog is with mustard and mustard only. That's
okay.
It. I can't do ketchup even.
Is there anything that you don't like to eat? Are you one of those people that just eats everything, or do you not like
things? I mean, I was looking at the MRI of my body. I just talked about this about my backside. And it's like my caboose has actually nice marbling, and so it's I guess
it's all the mayo.
Maybe a little coating. I don't know. Okay, no, that's wrong. Okay, Joy. I want to ask you this.
Yeah, do it.
You're an actress. Now you were the last time you were on with us, you were promoting, what show was that?
Men on Boats with 10,000 Things Theater, which is incredible because this is actually the last week of the show. So we've been running for about 4 or 5 weeks now. And the last week we're doing it at 825 Arts in St. Paul, 7:30 Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 2:00 on Sunday. And I'll tell you what, it's been a great run. We've been getting incredible feedback. The cast is doing so great. I've seen the show in the run like 25 times. I'm going to go see it again tonight because I just love it. It's so funny. So if you had a chance, you have to go do it now because it's almost done.
All right. So you got it's tomorrow or tonight, tomorrow, and then two shows on Saturday and Sunday at
Correct.
825 Arts. Go check that out.
Yes.
You're an actress. And I said, well, of course, the obvious thing to have you talk about would be the Oscars.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I don't want to talk about
Dude,
it.
listen, because I'm not a movie watcher. So
Okay.
I don't watch movies. I think here's my thing. I do like 10 minutes for each movie. If I don't get hooked in the first 10 minutes, I'm over it. It's the same thing with anything, with books, with music, whatever. If I don't like the first few seconds of it, I just toss it. Because your job as a creator, as an artist, is to let people see themselves through the stuff. You got to be able to feel what you're seeing. And if the first 10 minutes you're like, I don't know what's going on, I don't like this person, I don't get it, why would I spend 2 hours?
Well, you can, yeah. I mean, I've seen most of them, and I can get to a point. What you're saying here, because it's like the upbeat and happy fantasticness of a Norwegian film, like Sentimental Value. It's like make sure you bring your puppy to hug at the end of that one. Have you seen any of the Oscar nominated films?
I don't even know what is nominated. I'm assuming that Sinners is Sinners nominated. Okay,
Sinners was very good. And by the way, can I mention this? The one thing that movie is phenomenal.
So good.
Would I be surprised if that won a lot of awards? Not in the least bit. It's fantastic. I think it's between that one and One Battle After Another, both of which, and One Battle After Another, as we know in the Twin Cities, the relevance to us, if you've not seen that, it is amazing. Did you see that one?
I did not see that one because Leonardo DiCaprio broke my heart in Titanic, and I don't think I've ever seen anything with him in it ever since he floated away on that little cardboard box.
Oh, no. Remember, Rose pried his hands off that doorknob. Down you go.
It is her fault. It's always her fault.
Plenty of room on that door there.
Bye,
Rose.
babe. Yeah.
What about right up there? Two of you easily float on the door. Okay, I guess not.
I'll remember you. Yeah. What else is nominated? What else is going on with the Oscars?
Well, so I will say this. It's going to come down to those two films. And by the way, you do need to go see that film, your DiCaprio thing aside. Sean Penn in that movie is so amazing. It is hard to even comprehend. That is, his role is so crazy. It's so good. But I will say, I want to go back to Sinners for a second. One of the most amazing things about that, the music in there, and I love the blues, and I listen to the blues a lot. The music in that is amazing.
Yeah.
Elroy Lindo is amazing in that. There's so much that's so good about that. But they took a 17th century Irish song, and those guys turned that into like the hottest hit.
It's a bop. It's a bop.
Every Generation Z person I know, the Rocky Road to Dublin, they love that song. And it's like, that is an amazing, that movie deserves a lot of Oscars. I hope it does win a bunch of them.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be good. Is the Oscars the same thing that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock?
Yeah,
is that the Oscars? Okay,
yeah.
I think that was the last time I watched anything with the Oscars was that.
Well, it was a little bit, not exactly their highest moment.
No, it was hilarious though. First of all, how do you even have like the cojones to walk up on stage, live TV, and slap a very famous person as well in the face in front of millions of people?
Well, I go back to when the Oscars, I don't know if you've ever seen the scene where a streaker came out. This is like 1970. And David Niven's on the stage, and he's like, well, what do you know about that? We used to protest this stuff better. I'd be up for it. If Conan O'Brien was on the stage, he's the host.
Yeah.
If he was on the stage and all of a sudden a streaker came across, I'm like, okay, now I'm watching.
Are you asking me if we're going to go streaking at the Oscars? Is that
no,
what
we're
you're
not
asking
going to
me?
go streaking at the Oscars.
Matt McNeil, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, streaking at the Oscars.
Oh, it's a Big Mac, you say. Anyway, okay. I did see Hamnet. Okay. Hamnet, this is a story of Shakespeare and his wife and the loss of their child, Hamnet. Hard to see why that name didn't last through the ages. But I will say this: the woman that plays the lead in that's some of the greatest acting I've ever seen. That is on par with the greatest acting I've ever seen. If she does not win the Oscar for that, that is a crime. That is, she was just. I mean, I just watched Sentimental Value, the one, and the woman that's up for the lead actress there, who plays Stellan Skarsgård's oldest daughter, she was amazing. And any other year, yeah, she'd be a shoo-in. I'm like, nope, she's not. She has no chance.
Not
that
this
woman
year.
in Hamnet was so good.
So I did not see Hamnet, but I read Hamnet. So some of my favorite things to do is to find a book that's also a movie and read the book and then go watch the movie, because I think books are more intricate. And so the book, the character was so clearly written, like just like the bleeding heart of her and how much she cared for this dude, Shakespeare, who had like this big career, started from nothing, went and like, you know, created this incredible fortress for all theater makers just on this belief of a dream. I think the way that they crafted these characters are beautiful, and I'm excited to see Hamnet now that it's on Peacock and I can see it for free.
Do you know where I stopped doing that? What you did? You just described there reading the book.
When?
Peter Benchley in Jaws. That movie he owes Spielberg everything for saving that book.
Yeah.
I went back and read that book. I'm like, this is garbage. And, and everything that guy wrote, I'm sorry, I'm not a fan. Whether it was the Deep was another one of his books that got made into a movie. Yeah, they saved his books like that. Sometimes you go through there and you're like, oh, okay. And I can almost wonder if the director got the book and said, we're going to make this into a movie. Can you fix it?
Yeah.
And
make this better if you can.
Don't do it. Do this, but don't do this.
Have you read and seen Lord of the Rings?
Of course.
Okay, so I just saw
mayonnaise.
Minnesota white. But I saw Lord of the Rings. I did not read it. One of those movies I also did not like the movie. I thought it was very long, very convoluted. I mean, I get what it was about, Sauron and Gollum and the ring and all that. Oh my gosh. So actually don't
potatoes. It's about potatoes and how you cook potatoes.
It's about a potato salad that goes on an adventure to find a ring and yada yada. But I think that's it's the same thing with Wicked too. Like I read Wicked and I watched Wicked and I did not like the movie. I actually didn't like the book either. It's just I feel like sometimes people try to put too much into one thing, and it's like, just say what you're trying to say.
Well, and you bring up Wicked, which is interesting because a lot of people thought the second edition of Wicked was going to clean up with the Oscars. And I've heard a lot of people say just exactly, it's too much.
It's too much.
Just too much. And it lost, it lost a lot. And I thought it looked pretty good. I mean, I saw the first of the two movies. I did not see the second one yet, but it does. I think there was this element of a little bit over the top, and they were so convinced they were going to win Oscars. I think that's the mistake some of these movies make. They think that they're going to win an Oscar, and it just never materialized.
What for you is like the secret ingredient to win an Oscar? Like what does the movie have to have?
Well, I'll tell you what Hollywood
besides mayonnaise.
I can tell you what Hollywood thinks. Anytime a movie's about Hollywood, and it's like if it's about filmmaking, it doesn't make. I mean, Argo. Seriously, what were you thinking with that one? But I mean, it's just if they make a movie about movies, boy, do they love that movie. Because look at us, time to pat ourselves on the back.
We did such a good job.
God, they were so. You see them beaming La La Lands up this year. Okay, I get it. You like yourselves.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting is I would have no problem with a movie, and I mentioned like Sean Penn and winning Best Supporting Actor and saying like this. I have no problem with them or screenplay and stuff. And then I do love the category of the entire ensemble. And some of these award shows do this. That's a Sinners. I mean, Sinners wins across the board. And nothing against One Battle After Another, because Del Toro and Sean Penn and DiCaprio are all great in that. All of the actors are pretty good in there. But there's a level up on that. And I think you sometimes have to look. I think the best film, and this is why I think Sinners probably is going to win it, is that the one where it's everything. It's not just one performance. It's not just there. That you could make a legit argument that multiple people should win the Oscar in the acting categories, directing, screenwriting, some of the auxiliary categories such as production design, costumes, special effects. And I think Sinners definitely comes across like that. I would not be surprised if One Battle After Another does win it as well.
Yeah.
But I would say that I think it's going to be it's down to those two.
Yeah.
I'd be stunned if it was something else, like F1 or the Frankenstein movie.
No, I don't even know what those are, but they sound terrible. The Frankenstein movie. If the Frankenstein movie wins over Sinners, I'm leaving the country. Like, that's ridiculous.
It was okay. I watched the first part. I'll give you an idea about the Frankenstein movie. I watched the first part, and I'm like, okay, I don't need to watch the second on this.
Yeah. That's that 10-minute rule. I'm telling you, you get so far and you're like,
that was a good hour and a half into that sucker.
And you don't get that back. You don't get that back in your life.
Thanks for that morbid tone.
Isn't that what we're talking about? Is death?
the fall heads to winter and the discontent continues. Anyway. Okay, so all right, we'll jump away from the Oscars for a second, because you and I could talk about that for a while. But okay, so as an actress in the theater,
yes,
and once again, it does not surprise me. I've run into a lot of theater people that they love the theater, and they might like because there's so much TV and movies that happens with the actors across the board. You go to the Guthrie and stuff like that, and you look at the playbill of how many of them have been in TV shows and stuff. It's there is that cross, but a lot of them, they find their lane. And like yourself, the theater, and it doesn't surprise me. And you're like, okay, sure, I'll watch occasional movie, but I'm not a big movie file. I'll go to the theater, like you said. You'll go to theater shows, and you love the theater there.
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously your comfort zone, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah. And the thing is, I try Minneapolis, St. Paul, which I think I said last time, has some of the best theater as far as new works, new musicals that are happening, interesting takes on old plays. I mean, they've done Midsummer Night's Dream at the Guthrie like 35 times a year. So it's like they do things differently each time they do it. And so it's fascinating. And so I feel like I'm always looking for seeing something that I've already seen and like a new take on it, because it's a new perspective. With every director, they're like, this is the story that I want to tell with this play, or this is the story. It's the same thing with movies too. This is the story I want to tell with this movie. And I think that our problem in not only in Minneapolis, St. Paul, but in the world is that we've told a lot of stories over and over again. And it's like, what is a new way that I could tell this story? That's why Sinners is great. That's why Everything Everywhere All at Once, that movie that came out, that was amazing, because it was something that we haven't seen before. And so it's hard to like encourage people to be like, let's be more creative. Let's be more playful. Let's take new things out. But when we're taking arts out of schools, like they're not being funded. And so we're not getting those young people to be interested in creating and doing things outside of TikTok, outside of YouTube, and things that are kind of meant for media consumption in like a fast way. So it's like, how do we create this new world of arts when we're all trying to like make the quick buck or make the quick Instagram follow or whatever? Yeah.
Joy, can we hold for a quick second? I gotta get a commercial break in.
No.
Okay. Joy Dolo is kind enough to join us. We'll take a break. Come on back, because I got one or two more questions about the theater for you as well.
Okay.
All right. Well, come on back. It is the Matt McNeil Show here on your Thursday.
Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. The end of winter is finally on the horizon, and you're going to start thinking about all that nasty crud that's built up in your home over these last few months. Call my cleaning heroes at Zero Res to help get you an early start on the spring cleanup. Zero Res removes winter's buildup and lingering odors, giving your home a fresh, spring-ready feel. This month, get Zero Resified from Minnesota's #1 carpet cleaner. Buy one room, get another free. Buy another room of carpet cleaning, get another room of carpet done for free. Get the picture? Also this month, get a free size upgrade on every whole home air duct cleaning package. Don't you love when you buy your favorite beverage and get a free size upgrade? That's what Zero Res is doing this month with their whole home air duct cleaning package. Start spring cleaning with a free upgrade and pay less for more fresh. Call Zero Res right now, 9520-RES, or go online to ZeroResMinnesota.com and say you want the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
Hey, it's Tom Hartman from my friends at All Energy Solar, and I want to talk about something most people don't consider until it's too late. Energy independence isn't just about saving money. It's also about what happens when the grid goes down. Severe weather, aging infrastructure, unexpected outages, they happen, and when they do, most homes go dark. But not homes with solar and battery backup from All Energy Solar. Here's what makes it work. Solar panels charge the battery during the day, so when a storm hits or the grid fails, your home stays powered. Lights, refrigerator, medical equipment, whatever matters most keeps running. All Energy Solar is certified by both Tesla and Enphase, for battery storage and has been installing complete solar plus battery systems since 2009. Minnesota battery rebates are also available. Don't wait for the next outage to wish you had acted. Visit allenergysolar.com or call 800-620-3370 for your free evaluation today.
Prime Productions is thrilled to bring the world premiere of Abuelita by Nathan Youngerberg to the Capri Theater March 14th through the 29th. A grandmother from Iowa brings her grandson to meet his Puerto Rican relatives in sweltering New York, 1993. Davi's world is transformed with music, dancing, and community. Directed by Shay Cage. Pay-as-you-are tickets can be purchased at primeprods.org. That's spelled prime, P-R-O-D-S.org.
Greg Bakken here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches. Turkey, bacon, avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com.
It is the Matt McNeil Show here on your Thursday. Once again, Joy Dolo is kind enough to join us here. The theater, I wanted to ask you about this because you mentioned about the theater and the liveliness there. I also think the theater is much more of a immediate representative in the arts of the community that we are living in, because it is generally local, it's generally there, and it's affected by what is happening within any local community, which brings me to the question. A lot of people have said, obviously, in this age we're living in right now, that the arts is going to start really getting good again, because under strain, the arts generally delivers. How do you see theater? I mean, having had a front row seat for this chaos in the city, I've already seen a lot of theatrical groups and actors and production companies wanting to step up and start doing stuff in a direct, whether it's a play that connects to this or something directly applying to this. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I feel like with any play, even if you go back to Hamlet and Shakespeare, even Shakespeare was like going against the grain, talking about what is going on with kings and queens and castles and wars that were going on in the 1500s or so. Theater has always been the way for us to get back at the establishment or to show our sign of resistance. And I feel like a lot of the shows that we're doing now, especially after January, I feel like a lot of theaters are going to be doing shows that show not only the strength of the human spirit, but the hope that we have for the future that we want. I think a lot of the shows that we're doing now, like even the Men on Boats, like I was saying, that runs for the rest of this week. I mean, that our resistance in that form is humor, because when you're going through it, you don't want to laugh. You don't want to, you want to kind of sulk and be by yourself, and you want to go outside, you want to protest, you want to be angry. But I think one of the things that makes us human, which is what theater does, is shows us that we're all three-dimensional. We have these abilities within us to be sad and happy and laugh loud and be proud. And I feel like the movement that we're doing with and over the next 2 years at least, you're going to see a lot of that in theaters coming up. I was actually just at the Playwright Center. I just directed a piece called Eat the Rich by Gemma Irish. So it's, the title says it all, right? But actually it is a play about cannibals that that eat the rich. And it's like, I mean, it's kind of a farce and a satirical piece. I mean, I'm not gonna eat anybody, Matt. I'm not gonna just a heads up. But I do feel like that's kind of, we're all angry and we're trying to figure out where to funnel that anger and how to express it. And I think theater is going to start showing that in the future.
Well, and I think this is a good point to mention. Obviously, everyone listening to us on AM 950 here in the Twin Cities, but a lot of people are watching and listening to us on the Blue Amp Network right now. And I wanted to say, to get out into your local community, and even smaller towns, there's usually good community theater.
Yes.
Make sure you're supporting that. Make sure you're going to those shows, and make sure you're taking part of that, because that's kind of, that is, I call it grassroots arts.
Yes, absolutely. It's the same thing as going to like a museum or something. If you want to connect with other people or connect with something bigger than yourself, it's religious in a way. You connect with something so you can see a different perspective, so you can hear a different perspective, or you can see yourself reflected on stage as well. And I think that autonomy is really important for the American people. For the American people. When I run for president, Matt, in 2029, I'm going to make sure that the American people have
29. Okay. That's okay. I'll fill you in on the election cycle. The other
Don't tell me anything about it.
Don't put me in a box, McNeil. Don't put me in a box.
Let me do what I want.
All right, just because you've seen Sinners, I'm going to let you have Sinners as your Oscar pick. I'll take one battle after another, and then we'll see who wins. Okay.
We'll see who wins. We'll flip a coin, and if I win, then you owe me like at least $30, Matt. I want to check.
Okay,
I want to check. Yeah, that's what we do, Matt. This is America.
Joy Dolo. Now you know why she's back. You're coming back again at some point, right?
Yeah, with my $30. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, $30. All right. We'll see how it goes. Thanks, Joy.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
Once again, Tequila Talk is on Blue Ant Media right after this show. We're back tomorrow. Till then, see ya.
Cafe Latte